Good evening and welcome to net.America's virtual event, Empowering Tomorrow's Workforce. My name is Rosalind Abbott, President of the net.America Corporation. I'd like to wish all participants a happy Youth Apprenticeship Week. This week-long event, endorsed by the U.S. Department of Labor, underscores the critical role of registered apprenticeships in building a skilled workforce ready to tackle the challenges of today and tomorrow through the implementation of skills-based learning in the K-12 education model and the use of pre-apprenticeships and apprenticeships as a pathway to a rewarding career. YAW, or Youth Apprenticeship Week, is an exceptional opportunity for young individuals aged 16 to 24 to explore the benefits of registered apprenticeship programs. Our event this evening is not just limited to youth, but we also welcome parents who want to learn about the range of opportunities available for their children and gain valuable insights into shaping their future careers. Our event tonight promises enlightening discussions, expert insights, and real stories showcasing the transformative power of apprenticeships. By participating in YAW, you'll have the chance to be a part of shaping the future workforce. net.America is a U.S. Department of Labor intermediary for youth and traditional apprenticeship focused on healthcare, technology, and the energy sectors. As an established apprenticeship industry intermediary, net.America supports the development and expansion of registered apprenticeship programs, pre-apprenticeships, and the development of talent ecosystems. In addition to these contributions, net.America is a minority, woman-owned small business with a 24-year track record dedicated to delivering cost-effective management consulting services and solutions to the federal and state local governments, and ensuring that our success resonates within the communities that we serve. Our goal for this virtual event is to provide a panel discussion which will highlight stakeholder, apprentice, and parent guardian perspectives on registered apprenticeships. We are looking forward to hearing from our speakers, Ruby Garcia, the founder, executive officer of California State Society for Opticians, Paula Baylor, workforce development manager at IEC Chesapeake, Kathy Gannon, apprenticeship program supervisor, District 214, Latricia Cohen, RN, Staff Development Coordinator, Christ the King Manor. And we're really excited about our student participants, Malik, Stephanie, and Devin. After the panel discussion, there will be an opportunity for questions and answers. Should you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us at net.America. We will be following up with correspondence for all who joined after the virtual event, and recordings will be provided via our YouTube channel. Thank you all for your participation this evening. I'd like to welcome our partners and moderators for today's discussion, Prithika and Jennifer from Hand in Hand Healthcare Solutions, LLC. Ladies, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
So thank you for that. Welcome, Rosalind. We are, as Hand in Hand Healthcare Solutions, we're so happy to be subcontracting for net.America. We've enjoyed our work on the Youth Apprenticeship Intermediary Program so much, and we're very excited to be able to moderate this program tonight. So we wait 1 minute. I think our panelists will be joining. We have a variety of panelists tonight. We have sponsors that are providing perspectives from the side, from union side, and from an employer side. There's various ways to sponsor apprenticeship programs, and we have all of these perspectives represented today in our panel of sponsors. And like Rosalind said, we also are so happy to have actual apprentices, and we also have a school district that has those apprentices working from their school district. So I think we may have one other panelist coming in, and there we have them. So we're going to take this couple minutes to go around and have each of our panelists introduce themselves. If you can give your name. I know Rosalind just gave the name, but if you can give maybe your name and title and the organization and the occupation really that your apprenticeship is working on, and then we'll go into the more details after that. But we'd like to hear from you first so we all know who is the panel. So why don't we start with Kathy?
Sure. Hi, my name is Kathy Gannon. I represent High School District 214, which is in northwest suburb of Chicago. I'm the apprenticeship program supervisor and partnership manager, and we run a program that supports a little over 15 different occupations for high school seniors.
Thank you for that. Next, Latricia.
Hi, my name is Paula Baylor. I'm the Workforce Development Manager at the Independent Electrical Contractors Chesapeake region. Our footprint is Maryland, Virginia, and parts of Delaware. We have 1,071 apprentices this year between year 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's amazing. Thank you. Next, we'll go to Latricia Cohen.
Hi, my name is Tricia Cowan. I'm a registered nurse and I work at Christ the King Manor in northwestern PA. We have a registered apprenticeship program for nurse aides and LPNs with a focus primarily on recruiting some high school students to begin their career in nursing.
Fantastic, thank you. And next to Ruby, our other sponsor.
Okay. I'm ready. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. My name is Ruby. I'm the executive officer of the California State Society for Opticians. And we have a program we started just last year. And those are for people who want to become opticians who work with optometrists and ophthalmologists. We did start it in California, but we are spreading out through every state.
All right, thank you. And why don't we go next to our to Stephanie?
Hi, I'm Stephanie DiCepolo. I oversee the Howard County Public School System Apprenticeship Maryland program. We are in our 5th year of running the program, and it has continued to evolve and grow and expand across industries. We currently have 100 apprentices in our program. Many students in electrical. We also have students in work towards getting their CNA certification this year, and for our upcoming year, we had 300 students that recently just applied. So we're continuing to grow and expand areas.
That's exciting. Thank you. Let's go to our apprentices who are on. I'll start with Malik.
Hello, my name is Malik Miles. I am an apprentice electrician. I am a student at Independent Electrical Contractors Chesapeake and an employee at Colonial Electric Company. And I work in the construction industry as an electrician.
Very cool. Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, Devin, and introduce who you're sitting next to also.
Hello, my name is Devin Washington. This is my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Kelly. I am a student at IEC Chesapeake and Centennial High School. First year electrician. I work at John Hopkins Applied Physics Lab.
All right, thank you. So we're going to get started on some questions for the panel.
All right. Thank you, Jen. It's wonderful to have you all here today. The first question for this evening, it's for the sponsors, the program sponsors. Could you please give us an overview of your program? Why did you choose apprenticeship? And why did you choose the specific occupations that you mentioned? If you could talk about it, that'll be great. Specific to youth, actually. So if you could do that, that'll be great. Let's start with Kathy.
Sure. So our program is a high school-based program. We run a youth apprenticeship. We also have some registered apprenticeships with the Department of Labor. Our program targets rising seniors are recruited and then interviewed and brought to employers who'd like to hire them as an apprentice. It's a competency-based program, and it also has the minimum 450 hours of on-the-job training that we follow from the Illinois framework, and as well some higher level OJT hours for some of our Department of Labor registered apprenticeships. And again, as I mentioned, we have over a dozen occupations, and those are based around our Career Pathways program and aligned as capstone experiences for seniors.
Great. Why did you decide on those specific occupations? What was the rationale?
Yep, a lot of it was employer driven. We knew that these occupations are in need for workforce development, and also something that an apprenticeship could support in a year's time with competency-based learning.
Thank you. Perfect. Paula?
Our apprenticeship is a 4-year apprenticeship from knowing zero all the way up to becoming a journeyman at the end of year 4. We are the Independent Electricals Association, so we're an association of electrical contractors, and electricians are in demand. And the way to get an electrician is to start with an apprentice. We have students who onboard as adults, but Devin and Malik both onboarded when they were seniors in high school. So they completed year 1 of their electrical apprenticeship while they were still in high school. Malik has continued on to year 2, so he's only 2 years away from the end. So that gives a company a journeyman 1 year sooner than they would if they waited till after high school. They attend high school, they attend related instruction at IEC Chesapeake, and they work. It's a monumental task for somebody so young to get up and work from 5:30 in the morning to 11, go to school, and then do your related instruction on top of that. So.
Yep, that's amazing. Thank you for that. Latricia, if you could share your insights, that'd be great.
So I work at a nursing home. Again, we're really searching for more nurse aides. So we looked at apprenticeships as a way to help recruit students, focusing in on the high school students at our local technical school, really recruiting them. The great thing, or one of the great things about apprenticeships, is they get paid as they go. So that was a big recruitment tool that we used. So we partnered with our local technical school, recruited those students, and then they were received some of their training with us at Christ the King Manor, and they were able to use some of that towards their school time and then also as a co-op experience. We also have an LPN apprenticeship program, which basically it would be their next step in their nursing pathway. So if they do their nurse aide apprentice, become certified, and they were interested in going further in nursing, then they would be eligible for an LPN apprentice, where they again would go to our local community school, receive their in-class training there, and then they do a lot of their clinical training with us at the manor, and then of course do some work with our journey workers. We currently are recruiting or trying to obtain a pre-apprenticeship program for what we call as a pre-apprentice, in hopes that we can get students maybe a little bit younger and get them started in the field of long-term care, because we definitely need more workers that love long-term care. So that was kind of our goal as a facility. And we have seen some good outcomes with that.
Wonderful. So glad to hear that. Appreciate your insights. Over to Ruby. Love to hear from you as well.
Thank you. Being an optician brings a vast variety of choices. You can start as an assistant, become a licensed optician, and you are invited to be part of this program once you turn 18 years old. So you start earning money as you're learning, and it takes just a few months to become licensed, and then you get like a $5 increase. And after that, if you'd like to become an optometrist, an ophthalmologist, we help you with that career growth. And the reason why I really put on this program and I enjoyed it, there is a shortage of opticians, and it's not just medical, it's also fashion. So you've got two good worlds to work with. And if you, at the very least, just want to be a frame stylist, that's also a fun career. So I think there's some variety of careers that you can choose in our program.
Fantastic. So so we heard a little bit about the programs that all of our sponsors run, and each program is unique, especially in who's sort of running the program and certainly the occupations. But what I'm starting to hear you all have in common is there's a community, especially for a youth program, that can support the youth being able to really be successful in the program. So can we maybe also do a kind of a round table and go around and tell me a little more about that community, how to make this logistically work, and what is that community that's supporting the students? So maybe I see Kathy nodding, so I'll start with Kathy.
Sure. Community relations really important here on the partnership side. Our district has a department that I'm grateful to work for. It's called Center for Career Discovery. So we've been doing internships for over 10 years. And so the apprenticeship program is really kind of the big brother, big sister of our internship program. So many of our internship partners have been converted into apprenticeship program employers if that meets their needs. So just having industry buy into our philosophy and career pathways has been something that we've been working on for, again, over 10 years. We have 65 square miles within our high school district, so we've got a plethora of industry to tap into and support us along the way.
Can you comment on how the employers have interacted with you and supported the youth?
Oh my gosh, employers have been phenomenal. Program, we really try to have wraparound services for our employers. So it's not that I just meet them at first and tell them about the program, help them hire, and then say, see you in a year. But we have a check-in program. So we're building a relationship along the way, checking in with them on a monthly basis, having those conversations about employability skills and technical competencies to make sure there's good growth and progress along the way from the apprentice. And then the apprentice checks in with a member of our staff called a student success coach, again, trying to build that communication loop to make sure that everyone is having a positive experience. So employers, I've been doing check-ins now because we're wrapping up our 5th cohort and checking in at the tail end of their experiences. And employers and apprentices alike really have a lot of positive comments. Many of them are staying on as employees, even post-graduation. It is an at-will for our program either way, and many of them are staying on to continue working through the summer, and if they're not going away to college, then staying on as employees. So just a really positive feedback. Again, a lot of commitment on both sides to make it work.
Great. Why don't we go next to Latricia then, who is actually an employer sponsor, so running the apprenticeship as the employer, to talk about how you support the students, especially the young students.
So we work pretty closely again with our technical school. They do a co-op program where they provide transportation to and from our facility from the school. So that's very helpful. But then we also meet with their advisors, and we do that usually about every 60 days, just to let them know how the students are doing, progress that they're making, and talk about, career opportunities for them. If they, nurse aid is not something that they want to do long term, then we can talk to them about that. We offer also some job shadowing in our facility. So, let's just say they see the therapist and they're like, oh, I'd really like to try physical therapy. We offer those job shadows so they have that too as a learning experience.
So yeah, when you're a youth, there's time to figure all this out, right?
Right.
So I appreciate that support. Thank you for sharing that. How about Ruby? Can you comment on the community that's helping support the students?
Oh, yes, we've got a great community of employers. We started off with like Costco's and with the Walmarts and the Sam's Club. It has grown to invite a lot of private practices, and they are just so eager to hear what's next. this is wonderful. Are you going to open it up? We have like the lens crafters and the Target Opticals. This is fabulous. And the fact that these employers are statewide, so you can end up going to any state and being an optician.
Fantastic. Thank you. And then not last but not least, Paula, can you comment on, there's a huge, I know IEC and you all have a huge, especially with as many apprentices as you have, there must be a huge community that is helping these apprentices. Can you talk a little bit about the support? And
There is a huge community from the employer who takes a risk on a high school senior that is going to do the same work as an adult apprentice on a job site, a construction job site, to the school system, people like Stephanie DeSapio, who is that silent HR manager. She's helping vet that appropriate candidate. And then if that student is struggling, the apprentice is struggling on the job site, Stephanie's there to be part of that coaching system that gets them back up to speed. The community colleges are great partners. Our apprentices are all enrolled in community college and earning credit while they're apprentices. So we have those partnerships. We have 13 locations and almost all of them are on a community college site. And obviously parents, we see Devin's mom on here. That's a huge thing to take a provisional driver and send them off to work in the dark in a car that you love dearly, with the passenger you love dearly. So that's a big part of it too, that parental buy-in. The state of Maryland is a huge supporter of apprenticeship right now. And then even our apprentices. So Malik's on this call. Malik is now one of our best recruiters. So as a second-year apprentice, he recruited Devin, who is now a year one apprentice, and he's recruited a big chunk of the one that I have, the incoming ones I have now for this year. So it's a huge community that makes this happen.
Yeah, I love that, this community, and I'm glad you mentioned Stephanie. So our next question is for Stephanie, and you can talk particularly about the programs and how does your program help balance those requirements of high school, which we know there's a lot of requirements just to go through high school, but then also support the apprenticeship and the work-based learning side.
So we've really tried to customize the experience for students so it benefits the employers and the students. We look at what the industry demands as far as the hours for the students. So many of our students start their morning at work, the electrical students, the healthcare students. So our electrical students work very early, like 6:30 until lunchtime, and then come back to school for their English and math, or they'll work 7 to 11. But we look at the industry, really coordinate everything with the employers to see, what makes most sense. Our students work approximately 20 hours a week, and we really help with that flexible scheduling and trying to make it work for all students. So some of our students take classes in evening school. Some of our students take their classes at the community college. But we really try to support them in fitting in their academic classes that they need, so that they can still participate in the program. And with that, we try to look at that whole 4-year plan so that we're preparing students to get to their senior year and be prepared to be able to fit this in their schedule. But if they do need an extra class, then we'll figure that piece out for them. And that's been a really big component. And then also helping them understand the timeline to get their driver's license. That is a struggle for students across the board. In Maryland, students have to have their learner's permit for 9 months in order to get their license. And not all students even realize that timeline looks like that. And so often prior to rolling out this program and really putting the supports in place to make sure students were getting their driver's license on time, students would apply and then say, oh yeah, I'm going to get my permit tomorrow, but I want to participate in the program in 3 months. And I'm like, well, it actually doesn't work like that. So we actually worked out something with the MVA to come to the schools and do learner permit testing. And it's been a very successful program for our students. They come after school. The parents have to give permission, and they do paper pencil learner permit testing. And they actually let the students take it twice. So if the student passes, they will give them an official letter saying that they have a certain amount of time to bring that official letter in with their parent or guardian and get their official permit, but it really starts a timeline and helps support the students and bring it to them, as opposed to them having to have their parents take off work or whatever and take them there. So those are just, a few of the things that we have done to really have seen success in the program.
Is pausing. I think it's my internet. Thank you. Yeah, these logistical barriers are what we all deal with. Transportation, our car doesn't work in the morning, that's an issue. So, but definitely if we don't have our driver's license, we can't get to the job site. So thank you for sharing some of that logistical issues. We'll get to more of that in a second. I know Krithika's doing another question.
Yes, before we move on to the students, I just have a quick question for the sponsors. What is your recruitment process like? If each of you can touch upon it briefly, that'll be great. Starting with Kathy.
Sure. So our recruitment process happens in each high school building. We have 6 comprehensive high schools, and between me and the student success coach at each one, we run recruitment based on the apprenticeship type and the career pathway that it aligns to. And we push into classrooms based on that and give a presentation. And we also run student panels of current apprentices so they can do a Q&A with those who might be interested. We also run a panel for information for parents as well. So we start recruitment junior year because that's when students need to be thinking about what they're doing senior year and what their schedule might be looking like. And we kind of touched base on how complicated scheduling can be with graduation requirements and the dual credit that goes along with the apprenticeship and plugging in the OJT. So recruitment starts early, and just to give you an example, that starts in November. And right now we are just finishing up placements for this next cohort that'll start working in June.
Wow, neat. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Latricia, how about you? How do you do your recruitment? How rigorous is the process, or how easy?
Yeah, well, we go about it a couple different ways. With the technical school, we go right into the classroom and talk to them about our program. And then if they're interested, they can apply because it's all like a pre-hire process. So they would go, fill out an application, go through a job interview, so on and so forth. For some of the other schools, they have a career day where we kind of set up a booth and talk to anyone that's interested. And then the same process from there with them filling out the application and doing the interviews and things like that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Ruby, how about you?
We have fun. We go to many recruiting events at high schools, and we also go into the classes to talk to them, especially in their health and wellness courses, and that really works very well. We also get a lot of referrals, and we have these referrals by the database that we are an apprenticeship, and almost daily they're going into our website and contacting us.
Beautiful. Thank you. Paula, your thoughts?
We recruit directly in the high schools. We also have made good relationships because we cover the whole state of Maryland. We've made good relationships with the new blueprint counselors that Maryland has put in place in all the high schools. So now boots on the ground are those counselors also. We do info sessions. We do them as open houses. We include parents. We also do virtual information sessions so that parents who can't get to our building can get all the information. Because again, this is a 4-year commitment, just like college. So we're looking for that whole buy-in. And then, as I mentioned before, our apprentices are out there recruiting for us now. So they've had a good experience. We are 6 years into our school to apprentice program. So our second cohort that started as seniors in high school graduate, they're now out there recruiting for us.
That's terrific. Thank you for that. It's really awesome how you guys have worked with the youth and have made this work. If the folks in Tallow, the students in Tallow, if they are interested in something like this, I'm guessing they can reach out to you for more information. Would that be okay? All right, thank you, appreciate that. Moving on to the students, Devin and Malik. This question is for you. We'll start with Devin. Can you describe a typical day as a student and as an apprentice? I know you're juggling a few things there. And do you have a favorite part? And also, how does this experience set you apart from other high schoolers who are not in an apprenticeship program? If you can share your thoughts, that'll be great. Thank you.
Day to day, it's kind of tiring because waking up at 5 in the morning. But at work, we don't really have a lot to do. But the most, we will change lights, or if a plumber would need help, we'll help them change a motor. And then that's about it on like doing work. At school, it's not really hard because my classes aren't really hard. So keeping up with them isn't hard. It is tiring getting off work then going to school. But in a favorite part of my day, going home. Sorry, but yes.
How are you? I keep listening to.
One second.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, what set me apart? I don't probably doing hands-on work. That's what it will be, and waking up earlier.
Oh, I hear you. Wonderful. Obviously, something inspires you to bring in more people to the program. Yes.
Yes, I haven't recruited anybody so far. I haven't, but I would recruit people to join. It's nice. Get you a head start on life.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the share. Over to Malik. Same question. What's your typical day like? Balancing schoolwork and apprenticeship work. What's your favorite part? And how does this set you apart from the students who are not in the apprenticeship program?
Hi, so yes, my schedule, I wake up at about 6 o'clock and I go to work for 7. I'm a adult apprentice now, so I work full time. So I will leave work around 3 p.m. depending on the schedule, and then I'll go to school certain days of the week. IC will have class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the remaining days I'll usually go to college. So that's what a normal schedule for me would look like. I think my favorite part of the day, favorite part about being an apprentice is probably just how rewarding it feels to be able to work and be able to go to school and not have to incur debt trying to get my education. And then I feel like what sets me apart from other people is that I've already started my career. I've already started developing my path in life. That might not be the case for some people. Some people are in a 4-year institution, or they're doing other things in order to get ready to start their career. But as for me, I've already started in high school and I'm on the way to having a successful and wonderful career.
Thank you. That's awesome. And what's your favorite part?
My favorite part, the check, probably.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Absolutely. Thank you for being so candid. I appreciate that. Not everyone gets that privilege, so it's great that you can have it. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Perfect. Devin, did you want to add anything else to it?
No, I don't really have anything else to add. Sorry.
No worries. I'm glad you're here, and we're so glad that you're in this program. I'm sure Malik is a wonderful role model as well for people like you to be in this program and succeed with all the support you get from Stephanie and Paula. This is great. Really appreciate it. Over to Jen now for some questions.
I appreciate the smiles that shows that, when you enjoy what you're doing at work, that means that you're doing, what you're going to love. So that's, it's always helpful to enjoy what you are doing at work. So I wanted to go over to Ms. Gregory, who's sitting with Devin, and just talk about the parent perspective and how, what were the thought processes going into either helping Devin make this decision and helping him, succeed during his work day.
It wasn't a hard decision for him to make. He wanted to be able to do something after high school, but he wasn't sure if it was a four-year college or a trade. So I'm glad he took that step into going to a trade school to learn an electrician, because that was more for him. Day to day, it is very tiring because I have to also wake up with him at 5 a.m. But I love seeing him being able to get up, because it's really me where he's like, Mom, we got to get up and go, where he's like awake before me. And I thought I would have to get him up early in the morning, but it gives him a certain drive that I'm so glad to see in him.
Yeah, well said. I love that's when you see your child waking up before you, that's something. That's amazing. Great. Similar question to Andreen Gregory. Thank you for joining us. You must be very proud of Malik.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are some thoughts about just seeing him through his high school career here now in the apprenticeship program? How you decided to do this, and then what have you seen happen?
I've seen him mature very fast. It was his high school history teacher that told us about IEC and the electrical program. So we spoke about it. We spoke about it and he decided, okay, he's gonna do IEC, and the 5 a.m. it was a tough task, but he got through it, and he did everything he needed to do.
That's fantastic. How have you seen the either his school, his friends, those kind of supports for him? How has that worked out?
Say that one more time.
How has the school and his friends and different other and family supported him during the time? Like, what, I guess, for people out there that are considering this as an option, what is really needed to make a successful high school apprentice?
Definitely his family support, reminding them of what they're doing and how they can succeed in life, and the maturity that it brings to them, that having that independence to go to work, to receive that paycheck, to learn as they to earn as they learn, to have that independence for themselves.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's not something every high schooler gets, so
No.
fantastic. So we're
Yeah, I have one more question for you. So as parents, what would be your advice for those who are trying to kind of weigh in apprenticeships versus traditional path? Andreen, do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. For me, what it was the skill mastering that they will receive with the apprenticeship versus the 4-year college, the real world experience, having to get up, having to go to work, having to be responsible, to be on time, and having their tools and everything that they need. And then networking with the apprenticeship program. They're meeting professional adults. They are meeting the governor of Maryland and different top executive at the Board of Labor. And then again, for them to earn while they're learning, that is amazing. Like instead of having to pay a 4-year college, someone is paying them to learn a skill that they can use forever.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. Kelly, your thoughts on it?
I think it's been very beneficial to have that experience in the trade school versus the 4-year, because not every student thinks that a four-year college is for them, and they're always sucked into that life of going to a four-year college, where at least the trade school gives them opportunity in high school to see if that is something that they want to do, if being electrician or nurse or plumber is something that they really want to do. And then after high school, they can then decide, hey, yes, I want to finish in this trade school, or maybe I do want to go to a four-year college to get a different degree.
Yes, that's a beautiful point, definitely. A huge motivation, definitely, to pursue apprenticeships. Thank you for that. Sponsors, what are your thoughts on the same thing? You know, what would be your advice for people considering apprenticeship versus traditional path? Anyone can just chime in your thought on that. Yes, Latricia, I see your hand up. Go for it.
I can speak to that as a nurse. I spent a lot of money on college, and so I did the traditional, 4-year program. Occurred a big debt. Having 2 daughters that are currently in college, I feel bad for kids having to pay for a college education. And I also feel that, at 16 and 17 years old, this is a huge decision. And so to invest all that money for a 4-year degree and then get out and be like, you know what, this isn't really what I thought it was going to be or what I wanted it to be. After you incur that big debt, you don't really have the option of saying, I'm going to try something else. With the apprenticeship program, you get in there and you get that hands-on learning. You're getting paid for your time, so you're not incurring that debt, and you get the free education. And I just think that it's so beneficial for all students to try these things, instead of just thinking, oh, I got to go to college to be successful, because we know nowadays that's not necessarily true. And so it gives them great life experiences. Even if they would do an apprenticeship, let's say for nurse aid, and they decided they didn't like that, they at least got the learning experience of, I have to be to work on time, I have to do certain things to be a good employee. Maybe nursing's not for me, so I can go try something else, and I'm not paying that, $100,000 debt because I went to college. So I think apprenticeship programs are just beneficial, especially for the youth, so that they can help find their way. So yeah.
Very well put. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Kathy or Paula, did you want to add anything to it? Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I would echo what the crowd has said, the panelists, all very true. We say in high school, it's still a low risk environment, right? That be able to do this, try it without that debt risk, with so much opportunity still in front of you. And again, like the networking opportunities with apprenticeship are huge, to be able to meet professionals, learn from professionals in the real world, is really a second to none experience. And I applaud everyone on the panel for sharing their experiences and creating these opportunities for young people, and also kind of shifting the mindset of parents and the community to what the power of apprenticeship is versus college. Again, not being for everyone. Again, we do offer dual credit in a lot of our apprenticeship pathways, but I do feel that, getting into the workforce and getting these skills and competencies really puts them above and beyond their peers as far as if they're going to be competing for a job post-secondary.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Paula, we would love to hear from you, and Stephanie after you on the same thing. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. The no debt opportunity to gain a skill and a trade are very popular right now. And we like to say it's skilled trades and college, because our students are enrolled in community college, so they don't have to make that choice. But I interview students every day who tell me that they are not the ones that like to sit behind a desk to learn, or they are hands-on learners, or they like to get up and move around when they're learning. And apprenticeship gives them a voice. This is a place for those students to go and learn and experience and, change their life in a very different way through the skilled trades and apprenticeship.
Yep, you're right. Change their life in a very different way. Absolutely. Well said there again. Stephanie, your thoughts?
Sure. I was going to echo what Paula said because I believe all of our programs, if not very close to it, do lead to college credit and industry certification. So oftentimes the students are doing so many things and they don't even realize it. And so they're entering that career pathway while they're still in high school, and it is so different than a part-time job. And they have the opportunity to not only earn college credit, but industry certification. But they're certainly on that pathway to upward mobility. And so the development of this program and the expansion of it has really just allowed students to enter career pathways. I always tell the students that I work with, you are being hired for a full-time position, you're being allowed to work part-time. So the expectation is that we're building a very strong full-time employee, and it benefits the students and the employer because they really have that opportunity to build their relationship, to have some mentorship and support from the school system while they're transitioning to full-time employment. And really it's setting them up for success in a way that other young adults don't get to have that kind of experience.
Fantastic. So I think you are actually, as you speak, answering some of the questions that have been coming in from the audience, but I'm going to read them. And then if there's anything else that you want to add. So one of the questions was, what are the key benefits of participating in a registered apprenticeship program compared to traditional education paths? Which you all kind of have been talking about, if anyone wants to.
Absolutely. So specifically in the skilled trades, when you enter apprenticeship, it is on-the-job training and related instruction happening simultaneously. And so we are taking you from zero to an ending point where you have a license or credential that is portable and it is yours. So if you walk out the door and your next door neighbor says, you're going to be my apprentice, jump in the truck, here we go. No, you need to be a registered apprentice where everybody's agreed that there will be a credential and something that you can hold in your hand when you walk away at the end of your apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's a good reminder that, that we're talking about, these are registered apprentices, registered with USDOL. They're vetted programs with standards that, and like you say, portable. So when you move from Maryland, heaven forbid, you would can do your job in another state. So excellent. All right. We have another question. So how do apprenticeship programs support skill development and career advancement opportunities? And we touched on some of that, but how do apprenticeship programs support skill development and career advancement opportunities? Anyone can jump in. Malik, if you'd like,
Yeah, I'd like to answer.
Yeah, please.
So especially for me, I find that when it comes to skill development, I've developed my skills faster than I could have ever thought in this trade. Having people that are there to teach you, that understand that you're learning and are willing to show you the right ways to do things is very crucial in developing those skills for work. And then when it comes to career advancement, ever since I began working with IEC to get more students, I've learned how to write emails, how to correspond with people, and things of that nature. And it's really just helped me in advancing my career and learning how to move within the adult world. And my career without IEC, with IEC has been amazing. I've been able to go to so many places and help so many people start their careers. And I even got shouted out by the governor for doing such things. And I think that the opportunities that were created because of this apprenticeship have just launched my career as far as I could have ever imagined.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I see Paula nodding, emphatically. So, you look like a proud mom too.
Yeah, right? I know. I can't be prouder. Malik is also part of the USDOL Trailblazers for Apprenticeship. So he's in the inaugural cohort representing Maryland and apprenticeship across the nation.
Great. Yeah, the skills that you learn, as you said, it's not just how to do the electrical part, it's that whole other holding the job. Yeah, so we had a Twitter question, which I find is interesting. A Twitter question: what qualifications or prerequisites do I need to meet in order to be eligible for apprenticeship programs? Any thoughts maybe from either the program sponsors or our educator?
In our particular apprenticeship program, again, aligned with career pathways, we in most every occupation are asking for the students to have completed 2 to 3 career pathway courses. So they have that base and knowledge and desire to continue learning and probably want to be successful and again, move on either into post-secondary or workforce. So that's huge. And the other thing we really look at is, well, of course, if they're graduation ready and how we can get them there, but also attendance and behavior are really a huge criteria for us because we want to send students who can attend their scheduled work time and are reliable and have some accountability. So we do look at that as well.
Yeah, good points. Thank you. Anyone else answering that question?
This is Ruby. I just want to say it's a fun career that we have to build, but just like I'm going to echo that attendance and being accountable to showing up to work is very important. But one of the features that we find is really needed in our sort of industry is that they just complete basic math, because we do a lot of math in our careers.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. I have heard that in from other sponsors, and that's hard to kind of learn on the job. That is a classroom skill that we kind of do learn in school. Any other comments about what to look for, what students should be doing maybe in 9th and 10th grade to get ready, even maybe from the students? Anything that you've done that got you ready to take on this monumental task of waking up every day at 5 a.m. Malik, go ahead.
I can answer that. So I think the most important thing for students that are wanting to start an apprenticeship is to make sure that you have all your core classes completed, whether that be taking extra classes in the summer or just making sure that you stay on track. Having the least amount of classes your senior or even junior year as possible will make it much easier to have a flexible schedule so that you can wake up early and continue to do your apprenticeship without feeling drained from school and work. It takes a little bit of the toll off of you not having to spend as much time in school.
Maybe Stephanie also, could you comment on that? How to prepare in the early years of high school?
We have recently brought on board some career readiness advisors that are working with our middle school and all of our high school students. So really, I mean, thinking about that 4-year plan, but really preparing for high school, what courses, looking at all of the offerings. We really encourage our students to look at the career and technical education coursework. Even though we really truly hope that by the time they get to the apprenticeship program, it's the perfect fit for all students. We always tell students, learning what you don't want to do sometimes is as important as, ruling things out is sometimes as important as figuring it out. And so just really like exposure and making sure that they are taking advantage of all the opportunities that high school offers them is really, beneficial for their career pathway.
Perfect. Thank you for that. I guess we just have 5 more minutes to go. Wrap up, I guess that's what it is. Thank you all for joining us today. Kathy, Paula, Ruby, Letitia, Stephanie, Malik, Devin, Kelly, and Andreen. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights. They say, it takes a village to raise a child. Apprenticeship almost feels like that. It needs a lot of people to come together with a noble vision and stay at it with faith, helping each other along the way to make it really successful. Kind of the cherry on the icing today was hearing from the students, showing how they have benefited from this program. And sponsors, you also candidly shared what it takes to run a program successfully, which is extremely useful, especially for this audience. Last but not the least, Stephanie, as a teacher, your role cannot be understated in the success of the program. And of course, the parents, your buy-in is also absolutely essential to make this program successful. When a program like this is successful, it is not just the individual who benefits from it, it's the entire community. And that's what we heard from you all today. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Thanks to Talo for hosting us, and net.America, of course, the force behind this whole event. It was great. I really hope the information you shared will go to many more people who can understand and appreciate the value of apprenticeship and invest in it, so that more youth can benefit from it across the country. I guess with that, we can say goodbye unless there's something else from the team.
Fun. Yeah, we just want to thank everyone. So thank you so much for all your insights. Thank you to the audience for your questions. And this is being recorded, so it'll be available on net.America YouTube, I believe. Getting in the chat, thanking from the net.America team. So thanks, everyone.